Okay, welcome everybody. Um, we are going to start on the rest of Chapter 7. Now, with Chapter 7, we're not going to proceed with Section 7.2. We're going to go directly to 7.3 and 7.4. So you are going to have an exam on these two sections once they're finished. They are primarily mathematical questions, whether you're doing mole problems or percent composition, molecular formulas, empirical formulas. It's mostly mathematics. So you are going to need a calculator. Just a four-function calculator will work with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You can use your phones. If you have a phone available to you to use, you can use any sort of calculator. You can also get a calculator online as well that you can use for this section. Okay, so you can see Chapter 7, Sections 3 and 4 with those different types of problems. Okay, so we're going to start with 7.3 first. The title is Using Chemical Formulas, and we'll be calculating formula mass today, then molar mass as well today, and then we'll be doing percent composition next week as well as some more problems. Okay. So here's just a couple of terms. The mass of any unit represented by a chemical formula, whether it's a molecule or formula unit, is known as the formula mass. Okay, and it is just the sum of those average atomic masses that we find on the periodic table. So really the only difference in these mole problems with doing them now than when we did them in Chapter 3 when we were still in the building is that instead of just using an element, you'll have a compound. But it's still the exact same way to do those, okay? And then also here you can see the molar mass. That's numerically equivalent to this formula mass, okay? It just has a different unit. So the formula mass usually has a unit of U, that atomic mass unit, and the molar mass, has a mass of grams, a unit of grams per mole. Sorry about that. But they're the same number, so you find them the exact same way, okay? So we are going to do a couple of examples here. I'm going to change over to a pen. I'm going to try to write on here again. It says determine the molar mass of the following compounds. That's the formula mass. Okay, it's the exact same thing. So our first one we have here, and this is in your guided notes. So if you're using those, maybe you printed them out, maybe just have them in front of you, or you could do it on a separate sheet of paper. You're going to do it for Na2SO3. So this is sodium sulfite. Okay, so we're going to look and try to figure out what the mass of this entire substance is. And it's made up of two sodiums or two NAs. It's made up of one S, and it's made up of three O's. So we just have to do all three of those different elements and add them together, and we will get the final answer. Eventually, this will be part of just the problem that you're doing, like a mole problem. But today, we're just going to do it as a separate problem. Okay, so we have two NAs. So again, bear with me with my writing here. So we have two NAs. Okay, that's going to equal a certain amount. We have one S. Okay, that's going to equal a certain amount. And we have three O's, and that's going to equal a certain amount of substance. Okay, so one S and three, whoops, that didn't work very well. And three O's. So where am I getting these values? Well, I'm getting them from the periodic table. So there's a periodic table on your Schoology page. You may still have yours if you brought home your binder, your gold periodic table. Okay, so you can look at it there. So when I find sodium or element number 11 or Na, it gives me a mass of 22.99. Okay, well, I need two of those. So on your calculator, just 22.99 times 2, that gives me 45.98. So 45.98. There we go. Okay, so that's the mass of two sodiums. Now we have one sulfur or one S. So I look at my periodic table. Sulfur is 32.07. Okay, 0.07. Oh, that is really bad. Sorry. 32.07. And then we have 3 oxygens. Oxygen's mass is 16. You might remember some of those back when we did this in chapter 3. So 3 times 16 is 48. Okay, there we go. 48. 48. Okay, now all we have to do is add these values together, and that'll give us our mass of Na2SO3. So on my calculator, 45.98 plus 32.07 plus 48 gives me 126. 126.05. And your unit there is U. The other unit you can use is grams per mole. Okay, so we'll say, or, it's the same thing. It's the molar mass versus the formula mass. Grams slash MOL. There you go. So 126.05 for Na2SO3, sodium sulfite. All right. Any questions on that one? If you do, you can stop, you can pause, you can go back and take a look at what we did. So let me erase all of this. Okay. Now we're going to do Ba, the quantity OH taken twice, or barium hydroxide. So with barium hydroxide, you have 1 barium, so 1 Ba. Okay. And that's going to equal, barium's a heavy metal, down near the bottom of group 2, 137.33. So 137.33. Okay, now be careful here when you have the parentheses. You have to distribute that too. So we have 2 O's and 2 H's. We have 2 OH's. That's like OH, OH. So we have 2 O's and 2 H's. So 2 O's at 16 apiece. That's going to be 32. Okay. 0.00. My zeros are not good. There we go. And then we have 2 H's. So 2 H's. And we're going to add that together. Hydrogen, remember, is 1.01. So 2 of those, 2.02. Okay, now we just have to add all that together. So I get up my calculator. 137.33 plus 32 plus 2.02 gives me 171.35. So 171 has a long 7.35. And unit there is U, or remember again, you can use grams per mole if you would like. Okay, so remember, with the parentheses, distribute that out. You have to multiply. We'll see that one down here with aluminum sulfate as well. Okay, so let me erase that. And then aluminum sulfate. So now we have a name. So we have to write a formula. Okay, so that's kind of going back to what we just did in 7.1 with naming and writing formulas. So aluminum is Al plus 3, sulfate is SO4 minus 2. So when we write that formula, the final formula there is going to be Al2, okay, the quantity SO4 taken 3 times. Okay, so Al2, SO4 taken 3 times. So it's important that you can get from the name to the formula in order to do this. Because if you have this formula wrong, then your mass will be wrong as well. So with Al2, SO4 taken 3 times, we have 2 Als. Okay. Now remember to distribute 3 S's. Okay, 3 S's. And then we have 3 O4s. So O4, O4, O4. So that's 12 O's. Okay, 12 O's. So now we have to find what those values are from the periodic table. Okay, so 2 Als. Okay, so aluminum is 26.98. So 26.98 times 2 is 53.96. 53.96. Okay, S's were 32.07. We have 3 of those, so 3 times 32.0, whoops, 3 times 32, 3 times 32.07 is 96.21. Okay, 96.21. And then finally 12 O's, so we have 12 times 16. 192.00, and there we go. We have to add these all up to get my final answer. So 192 plus 96.21 plus 53.96 gives me 342.17 atomic mass units, or remember, or grams per mole. Okay? So, your homework, you have to do 5 of these. Okay? There's an animated chemistry for you to do as well. If you have any questions, let me know.